Without a doubt, one of the most imaginative and incredible films that I've ever seen. It's time to continue our 50s sci-fi journey with Forbidden Planet. One of the things that I've been incredibly interested in is how technology and how these films progress over time. The Day the Earth Stood Still was early 50s, and it was a really interesting movie, really cool, but just 2 years later, The War of the Worlds came out and was just like, it's hard to believe that was only 2 years later. So I believe Forbidden Planet is 3 years later, and I'm just ready to see what this movie delivers. People have been talking it up in the comments, so I've set my expectations, and I'm ready to enjoy this for whatever it might be. So if you're ready to enjoy it, then let's experience Forbidden Planet for the very first time. That is a real flying saucer, right out the gate, into the title, yes. Very classic sci-fi opening. This is amazing. Introducing Robbie the Robot? How many movies is Robbie the Robot in? In CinemaScope. That must be the, yeah, it's widescreen. Yeah, the other two were definitely full screen.
By 2200 AD, they had reached the other planets of our solar system.
We're in the future.
And so at last, mankind began the conquest and colonization of deep space.
Wow!
All hands square away to decelerate. Ship's beeper will, as usual, sound 10 times after lights dim.
DC stations, on the double.
Are they gonna like teleport? I guess I assumed that this kind of originated with Star Trek, but I am wrong. This is originating possibly here, I don't know. Although maybe they're doing something else, I guess, I don't know. Okay, maybe they weren't teleporting. My bad.
Okay, Jerry. Punch out an orbit on the 4th planet. Aye, Skipper.
I love that they're looking at what appears to be a monitor rather than a window.
20 years ago, the spacecraft Bellerophon landed here with a prospecting party of scientists. Our mission is to search for survivors. We are now entering the atmosphere of Altair IV. No survival suits will be required upon landing.
I may be missing some individual structures, but there are no cities, ports, roads, bridges, dams. There's just no sign of civilization at all.
Well, how much do you expect them to do in 20 years?
Radio contact, sir. There's a voice here.
Human?
Yes, sir. Who are you?
Morbius of the Bellerophon.
That's them.
Who?
Edward Morbius.
Colonists.
We're very glad to find you alive.
I, of course, appreciate your concern, but absolutely no assistance of any sort is required.
They flew across the galaxy, sir.
Commander, if you set down on this planet, I warn you that I cannot be answerable for the safety of your ship or your crew.
Is that a threat or a warning?
Dr. Morbius, I require landing coordinates.
Very well, but I wash my hands of all responsibility.
I think he's trying to help.
You may come in at 83.
Standard Class A security will be maintained upon landing. And until further notice, all hands will wear sidearms.
I mean, yeah, I would be ready for anything. What weird noises. It's almost painful. Quite loud. Yeah, I like that. I think it looks pretty good.
Hey, what's this dust coming?
Yeah, that's, is it the Tasmanian Devil? Could be the Roadrunner. Seems like a good place for him. It's probably neither of those.
It looks like we're being met.
Oh, wow, what? What? I don't know what to make of that. Hope you're a friendly robot.
I am to transport you to the residence. For your convenience, I am monitored to respond to the name Robbie.
Nice climate.
It's Robbie the robot.
Will you get in, gentlemen?
I don't know if I would trust it or not. I'm inclined to trust it, but like, who made it? Okay. It's like a little oasis in the desert. The residence.
How ironic that a simple scholar with no ambition beyond a modest measure of seclusion should out of a clear sky find himself besieged by an army of fellow creatures.
But we do have our orders.
But of course you must stay for lunch, gentlemen, and do forgive the ill manners of an old recluse.
Really giving me Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul vibes. I don't know if that makes me trust him more or less.
In the wrong hands, mightn't such a tool become a deadly weapon?
No, Doctor, because you see, there happens to be a built-in safety factor. Robbie, point it at the commander. Aim right between the eyes. Fire.
Oh no! You can't do it. That's a a fun way to show it.
Doctor, how did you come by such a mechanism?
Yes, that.
I didn't come by him, Doctor. I tinkered him together during my first months up here.
Seriously? You couldn't do that on Earth? You waited till you were here by yourself? Well, he wouldn't be by himself. Where are the other colonists?
Dr. Morbius.
Eh, something's still not right. Wow, that's dangerous.
Forgive me, I didn't mean to alarm you, gentlemen. I had Robbie install the steel shutters before I realized how altogether safe I am here.
A lot of ingenuity and just interesting ideas presented in this film so far.
Now I dare say you're impatient to get back to base.
The moment we've interviewed the other members of the Bellerophon fight.
But there are no others, Commander. Some dark, terrible, incomprehensible force. Only my wife and I were immune. I remember how when the boat was taken to return to Earth, she and I were utterly heartbroken. How could we have foreseen the extinction of so many co-workers and friends? My dear wife died a few months after the others of natural causes.
Okay, wait, I don't understand
Dr.
still.
Morbius,
How did
just what were the symptoms of all those other deaths?
One by one, in spite of every safeguard, my co-workers were torn literally limb from limb.
By what?
By some devilish thing that never once showed itself.
But yet it didn't kill you?
And yet, in all these 19 years, you personally have never again been bothered by this planetary force.
It's suspicious.
Only in nightmares of those times.
Father.
Who dis?
My daughter.
How do you do?
We so terribly wanted to meet a young man, and now 3 of them at once.
This is her first time seeing another human other than her dad. Very fascinating. Alien deer? Man, she's basically a Disney princess. Oh, and an alien tiger.
No. Watch.
My orders don't quite seem to cover the Bellerophon fatalities. Forced now to contact base for new instructions.
Suppose these new instructions require my return to Earth for questioning. 2 years or more away from my work here.
But if you're not in contact with Earth, why does the work you're doing matter? Except to yourself.
Disabled here for 10 days and nights. 2-inch lead shielding do as well.
Be better if we happen to be carrying about 100 square yards of this stuff.
And I'll have Robbie run it off for you, and you'll get it not later than tomorrow noon.
Wait a minute, that's solid lead he's carrying.
Common lead would have crushed the vehicle, sir. The whole thing hardly comes to 10 tons.
Super strength robot.
Does your father know you're out here?
Did tell me not to go near the ship. After all, this isn't very near.
That's a matter of perspective, isn't it?
What is it, Chief?
You'd like to check my final assembly for the monitor unit of the Klystron transmitter?
What, already?
Yes, sir.
Oh, what's going on back there? Nothing to worry about.
I'll bet any quantum mechanic in the service would give the rest of his life for a chance to fool around with this gadget.
Well, you better get this in a ship by dock. Won't do any good to have some fool fall over it before we transmit tomorrow.
It's nothing really personal. Just a kiss.
But why should people want to kiss each other? It's so silly.
But it's good for you, though. It stimulates the whole system. As a matter of fact, you can't be in tip-top health without it. I'd be only too happy to show you.
I don't know, Lieutenant. There must be something seriously the matter with me, because honestly, I haven't noticed the least bit of stimulation.
Oh.
Honey, let's do this thing right. Here.
For science.
Lieutenant Farman.
Don't say a word, sir. I,
Dismissed.
Maybe she just wasn't into him.
But don't you understand, Alta?
No, she doesn't.
Well, look at yourself. You see, you can't run around like that in front of men.
She definitely doesn't understand that.
Well, it so happens that I'm in command of 18 competitively selected super perfect physical specimens who have been locked up in hyperspace for 378 days.
Dude.
Oh, go on. Get out of here before I have to run out of the area under guard. And then I'll put more guards on the guard.
I don't like him. I just don't
I think
like
she
him.
does like him.
The way he
but-
kept looking at me. And he shouted.
He was jealous, but like that was the most classic, like trying to force your standards and your perspective on someone who really doesn't understand.
I hope I don't see him again if I live to be 400 million.
Well, I dare say you won't have to. I think the best thing you can do is to go to bed. I still have some work to do in my study.
Robbie, I must have a new dress right away.
again.
Oh, but this one must be different. Absolutely nothing must show.
Radiation proof.
No, just eye proof will do.
Joe. What? Do you hear something?
What do we see? What do we hear?
Like a sort of big breathing.
Is Dr. Morbius invisible and sneaking on the ship? Or is it an alien entity that killed all his crew? I don't know. Definitely some invisible person.
About half of this gear we can replace out of stores, and the rest we can patch up one way or another. Except for this special klystron frequency modulator.
Half a minute, Skipper. I'll change into a clean uniform.
No, you better stay as you are. I'm leaving you in command here.
Oh, I see.
It's almost like they're going to be destroyed from the inside out because of jealousy.
We'd like to see Dr. Morbius.
Morbius is in his study, sir. Never to be disturbed while that door is closed.
Suspicious. I thought she would be wearing the dress. Instead...
Come on in.
Didn't bring my bathing suit.
What's a bathing suit? You can look now. I had it made especially for you. It's just something about me personally you don't like.
You always look just beautiful.
Then why don't you kiss me?
I see she likes him. Tiger is on the prowl, though.
It's all right, he's my friend.
Doesn't seem super friendly, though. Ooh. She's not gonna like that.
I'm sorry, Alta. I had to do that.
You killed me. Why?
Is he still in there?
I'm gonna guess he's not there.
Robot lied. Morbius hasn't been in here. Hieroglyphics?
Aha! That's a real quiet door.
Last night, our klystron monitor was sabotaged.
You suspect me?
You're the only person here.
Sit down. This planet was the home of a mighty and noble race of beings. They were 1,000,000 years ahead of humankind. Seemingly on the threshold of some supreme accomplishment, this all but divine race perished in a single night. Since that unexplained catastrophe, even their cloud-piercing towers of glass and porcelain and adamantine steel,
Adamantium!
absolutely nothing remains above ground. No record of their physical nature has
How
survived.
does he know all about them, then?
You'll notice that much of the equipment is familiar, though designed for non-human technicians. On this screen may be projected the total scientific knowledge of the Krell.
This is explaining some stuff.
The first practical result was that robot of mine, which you gentlemen appear to find so remarkable. Child's play.
It's still remarkable.
As far as I can make out, they used it to condition and test their young, in much the same way as we once employed finger painting among our kindergarten children. There now, gentlemen.
That's Altair.
Simply a three-dimensional image, Commander.
But it's alive.
Because my daughter is alive in my brain from microsecond to microsecond. Would you gentlemen care to take the Krell test of your intelligence?
No.
May be disappointed, Commander. Suppose we start with a good doctor.
What do I do?
Just sit down there.
I have an IQ of 161, yet I don't register a third what you did.
Perhaps his IQ's increased quite a bit over the years, or he's just gotten used to the technology, and so he performs better.
It's all right, sir. A commanding officer doesn't need brains.
Oh.
Just a good loud voice, huh?
How do I make an
This
image?
guy's
Just
kind of a
this way.
jerk.
Don't stop.
You'd never survive.
So you're immune to this, too?
In my first attempt at creating an image here, my brain pattern there was scarcely any larger than yours. Afterwards, I lay unconscious for a day and a night. You can imagine my joy when I discovered that the shock had permanently doubled my intellectual capacity.
Yes!
The Krell had been applying their entire racial energies to a new project. Might somehow free them once and for all from any dependence on physical instrumentality. Incredible.
Well, not incredible. It didn't work out for them.
Not a sign of age or wear on any of it.
These devices, self-serviced, self-maintained, have stood exactly as you see them for 2,000 centuries.
Oh, it's mind-boggling.
When I activate the educator here, it registers a little more.
Well, the total potential here must be nothing less than astronomical.
It's terrifying.
Nothing less. The number 10 raised almost literally to the power of infinity.
This room feels like a planet killer.
Prepare your minds for a new scale of physical scientific values, gentlemen.
And to think, this just looked like a desert, mountainy planet. This is one of the most imaginative films I've seen, especially for the time period.
20 miles.
The ideas are just incredible.
20 miles. Now, be sure and look only in the mirror. Man does not behold the face of the Gorgon and live.
The Gorgon? Wait.
9,200 thermonuclear reactors intact.
Man does not behold the Gorgon and live?
There you are, sir. Very good.
Perimeter secure. Still suspicious of everything.
Shall I shut down the current, sir? No.
No. Uh-oh. Is that a giant foot with one toe? How come no one's seeing the giant one-toe foot? What is this? Ooh. Also, how is it so quiet when it's bending the steps?
Dr. Morbius, a scientific find of this magnitude has got to be taken under United Planet supervision. No one man can be allowed to monopolize it.
I've been expecting you to make exactly that asinine statement.
Well, seriously though, why would you keep it to yourself?
Man is unfit as yet to receive such knowledge.
But you are?
Whereas Morbius, with his artificially expanded intellect,
Thank you.
is now ideally suited to administer this power for the whole human race.
Precisely, Doctor.
I hate this. This guy. I disagree strongly.
And in this, I shall be answerable exclusively to my own conscience and judgment.
False.
Skipper, the chief's been murdered.
What? The chief is the one who was murdered? Tell us with your superior intellect. Intellect. What caused that?
Tried to make this plaster model from the footprints we found.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic.
Not the word I'd use.
Whatever walks on this would be quite an opponent for a man with a club, but with our kind of weapons, Quinn could have knocked this right.
No, Skipper. This just doesn't fit into normal nature. Anywhere in the galaxy, this is a nightmare.
I want to see it.
Maybe you and I ought to drop over to that Krell laboratory and get our IQs boosted a couple of 100%.
I begged you not to land on this planet. Believe me, Commander, that is only a foretaste. The next attack on your party will be more deadly and general.
Again, threat or warning. I can't quite tell.
Call it a
Premonition.
A premonition.
Haha.
Alarm for test.
Constantly upping the security here. Respect.
Fire.
Hopefully that works out. They can kill the beast, or whatever it is.
Check good.
Sir, radar just picked up something.
Where away?
At the head of the arroyo.
Fire.
Feels like they're actually firing at nothing. I don't know.
Are you sure you've got a real blip there?
Big as a house, sir, and we were dead on target with both bursts.
Big as a house?
It's still coming.
Show me something. Just anything. Oh, there it is. Now you know what to shoot at. Shoot! Cool, it's a giant. It's like a lion or a bear. I don't know. It's a wild animal. It's a demon dog. That looks amazing. That looks absolutely incredible. What kind of weird freaking cheat codes is that creature using? Oh man. The real question for me is the creature operating in its own authority, or has it been sent by somebody? Perhaps this man. Perhaps he's using his mind. Or maybe it was his dreams.
I just had a terrible dream.
Her dreams?
You know a dream can't hurt you.
Not me. The thing I saw was trying to break into camp. It was gonna kill. You'll take care of him for me, won't you, Father? You'll protect him.
I'm completely helpless as long as he remains here so willfully.
Are you helpless?
An invisible being that cannot be disintegrated by atomic fission.
That is a scientific impossibility.
Hypnotic illusions don't tear people apart.
It's true enough.
I don't know that they're going to be able to get to that brain boost, because they got to go through Dr. Morbius. I don't expect him to be welcoming. Nah.
I am monitored to admit no one at this hour.
Oh.
Let them in.
Alta.
Yes. She's on their side. Oh.
Why are you here?
Of course she is.
You must leave now.
Darling, I'm not going without you.
Darling, please go.
Doc, will you talk some sense to this girl? I'm in over my head. Doc?
Oh.
On the sofa, Robbie.
No. What happened to him?
So you took the brain boost, huh?
Oh, okay.
You ought to see my new mind. Morbius
Wasn't
was too
Morbius
close to the problem.
unconscious for 2 days when he
Krell
did it?
had completed the project. But the Krell forgot one thing.
Yes, what?
Monsters, John. Monsters from the id.
The id.
Interesting! Wow. That is so clever. So brilliant.
The meddling idiot. As though his ape's brain could contain the secrets of the Krell.
This guy.
He's dead.
He was warned, and now he's paid.
Oh, I thought he just passed out.
I'm ready to go with you, darling.
Altair.
What is the id?
Id.
Monsters from the subconscious.
So it was Dr. Morbius's subconscious, I'm assuming.
That ultimate machine would instantaneously project solid matter to any point on the planet, in any shape or color they might imagine.
Yeah.
For any purpose, Morbius.
Boom!
Creation by mere thought. The Krell forgot one deadly danger.
Yes!
Their own subconscious
That's it.
hate and lust for destruction.
Whew.
And so those mindless beasts of the subconscious had access to a machine that could never be shut down. All set free at once to loot and maim.
They could hardly have understood what power was destroying them. The last Krell died 2,000 centuries ago.
It's you.
Your mind refuses to face a conclusion.
I mean, I wouldn't want to accept that either. I felt bad for him.
Something is approaching from the southwest.
I think his subconscious put it together, even though he's not willing to admit it, and now it's coming for him. A lot of us do have a tendency to attack ourselves with our own minds. This just feels like maybe it's a bit more literal.
You still refuse to face the truth. What truth? Morbius, that thing out there. It's you.
I'm not a monster, you.
Got to listen. We don't
Look at all the
have
power
much
it's
time.
using. That's all the evidence you need right there.
20 years ago, when your comrades voted to return to Earth, you sent your secret id out to murder them. Then, when you thought we were threatening your little egomaniac empire, your subconscious sent its id monster out again. But now she's defying you, Morbius. And even in you, the loving father, there still exists the mindless primitive.
So, like, he is responsible, but is he responsible for the subconscious? Ah!
Look at your gauges. Look. That machine is going to supply your monster with whatever amount of power it requires to reach us.
And we know those doors are darn near indestructible.
Say you don't believe this of me. Tell me you don't.
It's true.
Then it must be true. Stop! No further! I deny you! I give you up!
I say, is it that simple? It can't be. Maybe it is.
Father.
Turn that disc.
What's it do?
In 24 hours, you must be 100 million miles out in space.
100 million miles?
No.
98.6. What an astragator.
Oh boy.
A genuine privilege, Commander.
At least they got Robbie the robot. Wow.
About 1 million years from now, the human race will have crawled up to where the Krell stood in their great moment of triumph. Your father's name will shine again, like a beacon in the galaxy. Will remind us that we are, after all, not God.
The tragedy of Dr. Morbius serves as a lesson that hopefully will save humanity from the same fate as the Krell. Really well done. This was a fantastic movie. Without a doubt, one of the most imaginative and incredible films that I've ever seen. Just the ideas that were present. I thought the ideas that were present were really intriguing even towards the beginning of the movie, and just as it progressed, it just kept getting more engaging, and then they introduced the concept of the Krell in this machine, and then the fact that this was all like in his subconscious. It makes me so sad for the Krell. It makes me so sad for what happened to that entire population of people. I would have liked to have met them, but alas, that's not it's not possible. Just wow. Look, I don't have much to say on this one. I just thought it was a great movie, and I'm really glad that so many people suggested this one, and I'm so glad that this one won the Patreon poll as first movie of the film. So thank you to my patrons for voting for this one. Ooh, it won by a single vote. It was a close one. And thank you for watching. This channel wouldn't exist without you showing up. So please show your support from the channel. So show your support for the channel by hitting the like button, making sure you're subscribed with bell notifications turned on so you never miss a video. And if you want to take your support to the next level, you can check me out on Patreon, where I have full-length reactions, early access, at least 2 weeks to every video on my channel, as well as polls that really make a big difference in determining the content that I publish. So here are some other sci-fi classics you might be interested in watching. Here is another video YouTube thinks you would like, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.